That was good.
And we get some like comedic stuff. We get another tackle and the camera follows again. I really love how the camera is following the movement. It makes it really dynamic. In order to figure out what your character's objective.
That's why I'm like, yeah, both of us.
Nola is taking down Mr. Bowler Hat Man. Hey friends! John here, and welcome to The Martial Actor. Today I, a black belt, will be reacting to Hilary Swank and Betty Gilpin from The Hunt. Let's dive right in.
Now, do I have to keep listening to Beethoven, or can we get on with it?
Okay, so Betty Gilpin grabs the knife, and then we get some pretty cool knife choreo right here, and that's a great way to start a fight. So then Hilary Swank gets like a kick, and then a front kick, and an axe kick, and the camera does that cool thing, and then a stepping stool kick, and Betty Gilpin does a hawk to take her down. Love seeing that choreo. So right there was, yeah, so that was probably a hidden cut, and then they switched so the stunt double could do that roll. This was also a stunt double getting taken down onto the table right there. And love seeing the vase smash. I love it when props get incorporated. And we get some like comedic stuff. We get another tackle and the camera follows again. I really love how the camera is following the movement. It makes it really dynamic. Oh, and then that stunt double was definitely on a wire for that throw. And now Hilary Swank has got like a food processing burner. And this, Betty Gilpin stunt double did a side vault over that counter. That looked really great. So we get like a moment to breathe here, which is nice. And then Betty Gilpin just starts throwing crap at Hilary Swank, including a wine bottle, which she dives to catch. That was cool. And then she kicks her through the fireplace. That was a stunt double again.
Hey, Crystal.
And again, this is good pacing. They're giving the audience time to catch their breath in between chunks of fighting. That's really good. So now Hilary Swank has got a shotgun, and she empties the clips by just turning the gun upside down. That's really stylistic. I love just seeing little character things like that. And now they're fighting over the gun. Again, you see this all the time where guns aren't used like they're supposed to be. She's trying to close the barrel so that she can shoot her, and then... Okay, this is cool. She smacks her in the head. Oh, that's super inventive. I've never seen anything like that. She's squeezing Betty Gilpin's arm in the barrel. That's cool. And then we get a cool... Oh, that was a nasty stunt right there. Swinging from the rope, which then breaks from the ceiling onto like a coffee table or something like that. That would hurt in real life. So that was a cool stunt. Now Hilary Swank is grabbing some knife objects, and Betty Gilpin's got like a curtain that she's using to parry. And Betty Gilpin gets stabbed in like the kidney. Oh, this is great. This is so great. Again, like we're giving the audience like micro breaths, time to breathe, and then they like slam against what looked like a glass pane or something like that. And then they're right back at it. Hilary Swank's trying to choke Betty Gilpin, and then she pushes against the wall, and they go flying through this glass wall. That was an amazing stunt. It looked so great. And now they're like taking the time to give the characters time to breathe, because yeah, it would be very shocking and you would lose your breath if you like went flying through a glass window. That's awesome. I love seeing that. And now we're getting right back into it. The camera's panning, and we're getting this like really interesting visual composition where we're getting glimpses of the fight through this like house. That's cool. And then they like don't want to go through the glass again. That's funny. I like how they're incorporating these like comedic moments. That's good writing. This is great. Betty Gilpin's got Hilary Swank in like a rear naked choke, and then Hilary Swank like grabs her elbow. I'm not sure, that wouldn't really work in real life. I think that we were maybe playing with like a dislocation or something like that. And then Betty Gilpin does a headbutt. That was framed really well. And Headbutts hurt a lot, even if you're the one that's throwing it, so that's nice that they're showing that. And then Hilary Swank grabs some more weapons, and she stabs her in the same spot, and then again in the back. That would, being stabbed would hurt a lot, but being stabbed twice in the same spot would hurt a lot. So Betty Gilpin's character is down. And then she pulls the thing out of her like shoulder collarbone. Hilary Swank front kicks her to the ground and she goes sprawling. And Hilary Swank is just like kneeing her over and over. And she just like hugs Hilary Swank and gets stabbed. And then, and that was a sick move. That was an awesome takedown. The camera followed it in a way that was super dynamic. That was so fun to watch. And I think that's the end of the fight. Yeah, that fight was super fun to watch, and it was on point for a couple of reasons. One, the choreography was really innovative. I saw a couple things that I haven't seen before, specifically when Hilary Swank was using the barrel of the shotgun to like squeeze Betty Gilpin's arm. I've never seen that. That's so cool to see. But then they were just really inventive in the other things that they did. They used a lot of the props in the room, which is always good choreo, and they moved in the space. They started on the bottom floor, then they went up the stairs, then they went outside, then they came back inside. They were on both halves of the room, like they were all over the place. And that is a sign of good choreography. Number two, they incorporated humor and levity. Fight scenes are always really tense for audience members to watch. So if you incorporate humor into a fight, it can help give variance and breaks for that tension, which is really, really good. Number three is the pacing. A lot of times in fight scenes, especially in extended fight scenes that are 2, 3, 4 minutes long, you'll see the fight last the entire time with no breaks. And that's really impressive from a choreography standpoint, and even from a cinematography standpoint. But from a narrative standpoint, an audience needs breaks. This fight did a really great job of giving the audience breaks that made sense narratively and gave our brain time to process what was happening in a way that was very narratively compelling. So I loved seeing that. Hilary Swank has been doing this kind of stuff forever. I mean, she's done $1 Million Baby, she was in Karate Kid. She's done a lot of fighting-esque movies, so she did a great job. I've never seen Betty Gilpin do anything like this, but she also did an amazing job. And the two, I think, really played off of each other very well. Overall, I think there were a few strikes that could have been framed a little bit better in order to just land that much harder on camera, but that's being super picky. I think that they did a great job. It was super fun to watch, really entertaining, and the actors did fantastically, so yeah. And that's it for today. So take care of yourself, take care of each other, and I'll see you next time. Yeah, that fight was on point for a couple, but then they do, and even from a synonyms. Okay. Hey Google, what's the definition of levity?
Levity is used as a noun to mean humor or frivolity, especially the treatment of a serious matter with humor or in a manner lacking due respect, similarly to lightheartedness and carefreeness. Do you want to hear levity used in a sentence?
No.